back, guys. Fitness Business Podcast, your co-host Jordan. What I'm going to share with you today is a scenario that is essentially, if I woke up tomorrow with no money, I'm so confident that I could build a $50,000 a month business within 3, 4, maybe 5 months tops, working 3 or 4 hours a day, just using Instagram. And I'm going to share with you how, with a simple and proven marketing system that really anybody can implement. So for context, my wife and I, Erin, we built T4E Systems, which is an online health and coaching company. We built that to $150,000 a month while only working 2 to 3 hours a month in that business. And I'm going to share the same system we use to do that, and then eventually sell that business to Nutrition Dynamics, one of the biggest companies in the space. Now we run Impact Fitness Coaching Academy, which to date has generated $40 million in sales. And so the question that I wanted to answer is, what would I do if I had to start from scratch? No savings, no followers, no team. This is exactly what I'm going to share with you today. The 7 steps that I would take to rebuild everything. And I'll break it down step by step, including how to attract leads, the systems I'd use, how I'd structure my pricing and my offers, and how I'd scale a team to actually be able to grow sustainably without me doing everything. And the thing is, this is not just theory, all right? It's actionable, and I'm going to give you examples that you can start implementing today, depending on where you're at. And listen, I'm actually going to get real with you here for a second, because truth be told, I actually have faced a situation like this. All right, so quick backstory to kind of set this up. So I want to take you back to June 28th, 2022, which was the day that my son, Jackson, was born. At this point, Erin had stepped back from the business really to focus on having a healthy pregnancy. And so I took on everything. I was running the sales team, the marketing teams. I was overseeing client success, managing operations. I was working like 60 to 80 hours a week consistently. And things were going okay on the surface. The business was growing, but internally I was unraveling. Staying up late, barely sleeping, obsessing over the business. I was also relying on substances, right? I was using too much weed, alcohol, and ketamine, things like that, to escape the fear that I wasn't quite ready to be a dad, or that everything that I would build or had built was going to fall apart. So then my worst fear ultimately became my reality. So shortly after Jackson was born, we made a bad partnership decision that led to a massive financial loss. All right, we were losing 50 to 60K a month. I was panicked, and then I basically overreacted. It's kind of like a car that gets a flat tire. Rather than just pulling over and fixing the tire, I just drove the car off the cliff. Tons of poor leadership examples and bad decisions caused 80% of our entire sales team to quit. Our sales manager, several closers, setters, they all quit, right? Including the manager. In a month that we were already losing money, right? So we needed sales. So Erin had to jump back in. I caused her breastfeeding situation to go astray, right? Tons of stress. It was terrible. But I spiraled further. So I stopped sleeping legitimately. For 42 days, I had this really bad insomnia spell. I could sleep no more than like 10 to 15 minutes, and then I would be jolted out of bed. My heart would like start pounding, and I was really experimenting like suicidal ideations. I went to the ER a couple of times, went to the fire department, convinced that I was an AFib. At this point, I'd also planned a bachelor party for my best friend, who I was the best man. And at this point, I already hadn't slept in like 2 or 3 weeks. And while we're on the 18th floor of this suite that I paid for, I was contemplating legitimately ending my life. So my sister had to drive me home. I had to go stay with her, who she lived in Nashville where the party was. And, you know, she kind of watched over me. So on the 42nd day, I called my mom and I told her, look, I need to get to the inpatient psych clinic. All right, this is getting too bad. And she asked me to just pray on it, say one more prayer, try to sleep one more time. And God willing, and, you know, I was able to shake out of it. I actually fell asleep at that time after lots of prayer. And so from that moment, we began rebuilding. Slowly but surely, we turned things around. And I share this story because life is going to throw challenges at you that make you question everything and make you think that everything that you've worked for is going to fall apart. But I want to encourage you and want you to know that rebuilding is not as hard as you think. Breaking past the plateau that you're currently at, that's challenging, but getting back to where you are currently, you'll be able to do pretty quickly. And I wish I had somebody to kind of give me that advice when I was going through it. So again, if I had to start over from scratch, I wouldn't be fearful. I'd be excited. And I'd start by building a health coaching business. That's what I would get into. That's the vehicle. And here's exactly how I do it. So step 1, I would sell a service or a coaching offer. And before putting out any content, I would focus on creating a high ticket coaching offer that I could charge between $600 to $2,000 a month. I'm going to go for $1,000 a month here. And I would make it solve one specific problem. I would really focus on differentiating and solving a very unique and painful problem. For example, instead of your typical, you know, I help busy moms lose, let's say 10 pounds in 90 days without giving up your favorite foods, I would go deeper. For example, I would offer a 90-day genetic diet for executive parents that guarantees that you'll get in the best shape of your life in 90 days or you don't pay. Or I would do a 12-week hormonal reset for moms over 40. Or maybe a fat loss blueprint for busy entrepreneurs who struggle with stress eating. Or maybe a 12-week gut health reset for women who have PCOS. I would get really niched on a problem and have a unique way to solve that problem. And I would really focus on lab work. I would focus on detailed supplement protocols. I would use AI to help me to fulfill. And I'll talk about that more in a minute. But step 2, I would pick a high income and easy to target niche, a target audience that I feel that I can really understand and resonate with. So this makes marketing just effortless because you know their pain points, their goals. For example, I would help busy corporate executives parents in their 40s, regain energy and drop 15 pounds using a genetic-based diet and blood work optimization. If I got hyper-focused on this niche, it's going to be easier for me to target and attract those people versus just a broad audience. Step 3, I would post every single day on Instagram. I would focus just on Instagram, and I would focus on lists, steps, and stories. Either lists of like 5 things to do if you want to stop XYZ, or 5 steps to optimizing your blood work as a busy entrepreneur. And every piece of content I would treat like a lead magnet that would lead them into a resource, whether if it's a checklist, maybe a podcast episode where I'm expanding on the topic, whatever it is, I'm going to try to get them from short attention to then consume something longer. I would post 2 to 3 reels a week. I would do 2 to 3 carousels a week, and I would be on my stories every single day, sharing behind the scenes, being authentic, making offers. And I would also boost 1 to 2 posts per week at $20 to $30 a day. And on top of that, I would reach out to everybody in my network. I would literally go through my phone book, text everybody I know to ask them just to help promote my new business. I would offer them also maybe a special referral incentive for anybody who signs up. So step 4, I would make it a goal to book 1 to 2 report calls per day in the DMs. Just a quick, no obligation connection call, not pitching anybody anything, just a qualifying call. So between boosting the post or running the ad, and I really think that my content would start to kick ass because I've been doing it for a long time, I should start getting 20 to 40 followers a day roughly. Most of that's probably coming from the ad. And I would send them all warm, value-led messages such as, hey, welcome to my page. I would relate to them. It looks like you're a parent too. Rock on. Is there anything specific that you hope to learn from my content? Just very genuine, value-led. From there, 20 to 25% of people will respond. And of those responses, about 50% will be qualified for me to pitch a call. From there, 50% will accept and get on a call. Let's say in a given month, I'd have 20 follows a day at $2 per follow. That would be $40 a day in ad spend or $1,200 a month. So the very first client I would sign, I would take all of that money and put it right back into the ad. Let's say that got me 600 followers a month. I would have $5 per opened message of people that I sent messages to. That would give me 120 convos started, roughly 3 a day. 50% of those would be qualified and respond and get to the point of me pitching a call. So that means I'd pitch 60 calls. 50% of those would accept. That'd be 30 booked calls, 1 call per day. 15 of those will move to a sales call. So 50% of the people who book a report call will move to an actual sales call. 12 of those should show, and I'll close 6 of them at $4,000 each. That's $24,000 contracted with about $1,200 a month in ad spend, which is a 20x ROAS. Pretty legit. Cool. Step 6, I would then launch probably month 2, a special promo to help land an additional 5 to 10 clients. I would do a scholarship promo most likely where I would offer 1 full ride to 1 person who's deserving, and then I would give partial scholarships to anybody else who is qualified. So if my normal pricing is $4,000 for 90 days, I would award $1,500 towards a partial and sign them up for $2,500 for my first 5 to 10 clients. So this is going to help me get more people in the door, get some case studies, get some results at a little bit of a cheaper price. Step 6, I would then hire an appointment set. So I'd go to onlinejobs.ph or hire somebody in my network or a former client. And after I'm making at least 10K a month with steps 1 through 5, I would get this appointment setter to help me book more calls. I would still be in the DMs, but they'd be helping me to amplify it. That way I could spend more on ads to book more calls. They'll work my DMs, they'll invite people to a consultation call, and then that'll help me get to 20 to 30K a month in cash. Step 7, I would then create a 12-month backend offer to help my clients solve the problems that the front-end offer would create. So if my front-end offer is $1,000 a month for 90 days, my backend would be $600 a month for 12 months. And it's important to remember that it's cheaper and easier to focus on keeping a client and getting them to buy more times than it is to have to go find new ones. Here's how to leverage this. I would have a client journey that's clear and in phases. So for example, phase 1 would be like my metabolic reset. That'd be 90 days focused on fast weight loss. Phase 2 would be, I'd call it metabolic mastery. That would be reverse dieting. It'd be maintaining the new weight loss, building metabolic output, habits, mindset shifts, all of those things. That would be 12 months. And then phase 3, I would either resell them into that again, or I would move them into a continuity month to month for like 100 to 200 a month with no coaching, just access to the community. And building out our backend offer systems to retain clients longer, even after they graduate, would be key here. That's how I can start to build even further monthly recurring revenue. This would easily get me to 50K a month. All right. And from there, I would start building out my team and moving from boosting posts to actually running IGDM ads. So I would run a free training ad and I would book calls for $100 to $200 a call. 30 to 40% of those should become clients. Then I'll start hiring an assistant coach, VA, to free up my time so I can focus on marketing, sales, and growth, and ultimately getting my time back, because this would be a grind phase, especially the first 1 or 2 months. And then now I can kind of step back and have a business that works for me, not that I work for. So remember, listen, just to wrap up, building a 50K a month business is not about reinventing the wheel. It's really just about following a proven roadmap that those who have done it before you have proven to work. It's about executing the right strategy consistently. So if you're ready to take action on any of this, just pick 1 or 2 of the steps, start implementing it now. And if you found this useful, share the episode, maybe shoot me a DM on Instagram at @JordanDuggar_. And if you don't mind, maybe leave a review. If you leave a review, we do a giveaway once a month where we give, I think, 3 people $100 $500 Amazon gift cards. So if you leave a review, you've got a pretty good chance of winning that. And as always, guys, I appreciate you listening. Let's make 2025 the year. It's going to be a fun year. There's a lot of growth that's going to occur, I believe. And let's create a business that changes your life and changes others' lives. With that, guys, I'll see you on the next episode. Thank you for listening.